Welcome to Left, Right, and You with Tim Elenz and Paul Edwards. They're talking current events, politics, local, state, and federal. Now here's Tim Elenz and Paul Edwards and Left, Right, and You.
What's up?
Hello, and welcome, Tim.
How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Left, Right, and You.
What's happening?
You know, I'm basking in your excitement.
Well, my excitement?
Yeah,
Nancy Pelosi having a house dropping? No, I'm sorry.
You know, now that you mention it, she could definitely be pedaling a bicycle in a cyclone.
She sleeps upside down. Go ahead.
Man. I tell you what, this show is Left, Right, and You, and Tim started out as the left in this, and hear him just taking shots at Nancy Pelosi.
She's way far left.
It warms my heart.
And Barney,
you know what that means?
Barney Fife?
Paul, you know what that means?
What's that?
Tim's attracted.
Oh, yeah.
Tim's attracted. Well, then I must be really in love with her with all the things.
Not with the stolen. Never mind. I can say that, right? That's PG.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? Our website is been redone.
Yeah. It's still being redone.
But it's pretty cool. And Antanas is doing a wonderful job. I guess you can go on to it's leftrightandyou.com, right?
Right.
Okay. You can go to leftrightandyou.com. You can email me. You can email Tim. You can see a bunch of our shows by a YouTube connection. You can see all kinds of photo galleries of all our guests.
On our website too.
By advertising. Yeah. And by the way, if anyone is out there who really enjoys our show and thinks this is a good model, we want to continue to do our show.
Send gift cards.
Send gift cards. Send money. You can get me at the off ramp of I-90 and Roselle Road. I'll be there with the "We'll wash your window for food" sign. With the hat in hand. But seriously, you can contact us through our website, and what we're looking for is sponsors who would like to. For those who don't know, we're also on TV. 24.3
WPVN.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, 24.3, and we're looking for sponsors that we will. You'll be our sponsor here on the radio, on the TV. You'll be on our website, on our Facebook. You will be all over the place, and we're looking for anyone out there who would like to advertise. Please feel free to contact us.
All right, we and remember 847-931-1410.
Yes.
And whatever happened to Phil? Was it Phil? He doesn't call anymore.
He hasn't called.
No, Jeff, we need to get Jeff to call. And Jeff, are you out there?
Yeah. And
hey, kids.
Oh, there's Jeff.
Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys had a great New Year and a new good Christmas.
Ask and I shall receive. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Merry
Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks for
back
calling.
at you guys,
How are you? What's going on?
In there.
You haven't talked to you in 2 weeks.
I hope this 2011 isn't like 2010. That's for darn sure.
Hey, Jeff, can you hold on one sec for me? Because I do want to let our listeners know that we will be having two guests today. We're going to be getting Ruth Munson on the phone in a few minutes, who ran for the Illinois House seat.
She's a former state rep.
Former state rep, and just someone who is really, really engaged in her community, so we want to have her on. And then also in the second half of the show, we will have either the newly seated member of the U.S. House of Representatives, Randy Hultgren, will be joining us the second half of the show. So, Jeff, let's get to your point quick because we are expecting Ruth any moment. So, jump on in there. Sorry
Thank you for calling in, Jeff.
What do you got for us, buddy?
Well, one of these days I'm going to have to meet you, like I said last time. I was going to, because you guys are excellent, and I want to figure out a way to help you guys. So
we'll come in 2 weeks. Paul's buying dinner.
Yeah, well, let's go to dinner or lunch before the show. Jeff, you know where the station's at, right?
Yeah, I do, and I know Mike real well, so I know.
Oh, well, then we really don't want to go with you then, if you know Mike that well.
Right.
Hey, any friend of Mike's an enemy of mine. No, just kidding. Mike's great.
Yeah.
Well, you're young, you grow, you get better friends.
I hope you guys nail these. I hope you guys ask some really good questions of these politicians when they come on, because I got to tell you, if you ask them down-to-earth people like you guys are, and like myself, it's like at this point in our nation's history, they got to do something to upright this ship. And if they don't, we're going to end up like every other civilization in the history of this planet, upside down and in the water.
Yep.
And I think we're like halfway there.
Were you listening way back in the day when we had Mike Nolan on here and he was explaining how taking money out of Illinois taxpayers' pockets who were barely paying their rent was going to help them?
Why do you have to swear?
Did I say that?
I know.
You said Nolan.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it was like really explain that to me, how because the states spent their money unwisely, they should take more money out of the Illinois taxpayers' pockets because they spent their money unwisely. Now, the guy who can barely make his rent, now you're going to take another $50 to $75 a month from him, and it's going to be that much harder for him to make his rent, and somehow that's good for him? And of course, Mike Nolan stared at me like, blah, 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 blah,
Oh, yeah, I know. The guys, that's what I'm saying. They leave the ground floor and they go up to the Taj Mahal and they forget where they came from. And that's my basically roundabout opinion about the politicians. I think they're all liars, cheats, and thieves.
Well, not all of them, but I think after a while they become. Hey, Jeff, you know what? I hate to cut you short because we love chatting with you, but Ruth is on the other line. If you want to try us back when Ruth drops off the line or after Randy drops off the line in the second half of the show, you'd be more than welcome to call back in.
Thanks for calling, Jeff.
I wish I could call in and talk to Randy and say, but I might later on. I don't want to take care. I hope other people call you guys.
Is Randy taking calls?
I didn't ask him to take calls today.
Okay, well, listen, maybe he will. Maybe he'll take a call. We'll tell him you're a loyal listener.
Okay.
All right, Jeff.
And that won't be an ass.
Well, then why are you going to come on our show?
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Take care. Hello, Ruth. Are you there?
I am.
Hi.
Hi. How are you today?
Hi, guys. Just fine.
Good.
Welcome. I invited Ruth on the show today, Tim, and I've got Ruth. I'm going to throw some bouquets your way. Ruth and I are Facebook friends, and I'm not one who posts a whole lot of things, but I'm sitting there, and Ruth, I'm looking and I'm seeing how you were involved with the Boys and Girls Club. You're involved in this fundraiser. You were involved in that fundraiser, and then obviously all the nice work you did on for Keeney's Sporting Goods. For those of you who don't know, the oldest business in Elgin, 122 years old. This business has been around, just closed up because the proprietor passed away. But while she was ill, Ruth got together, cobbled a group of people together who more or less donated their time to keep the place going. And unfortunately, it did close. And I really brought you on because I think so many politicians, they get involved in politics because they want to be public. They want to hold a public office. And I sat there, and I know that you just recently lost a hard-fought election, but I was sitting there going, wow, look, she's really more concerned about her community than anything else. And I want to throw some bouquets your way and sort of get your insight or your thoughts about your community and some of the things that you've been doing and maybe some of the things that are coming down the pipe.
Well, gosh, thank you. First of all, I got to set the record straight. I was one of a lot of people who, did their own thing to help with Patricia Keeney and her, keeping the store open. Really was an effort put on by Karen Jones and Gentry Jones and a lot of the members of the Downtown Neighborhood Association. So the kudos for keeping that store open really, go to any number of people. I did get to help with the Vintage Remix, the fashion show, to raise some dollars, and of course, been a long time neighbor of, Keeney Sporting Goods with our business down here. So it's part of a family in the downtown, and we each did our part. So.
Well, that's nice. It's humble.
Yeah, I actually met Gentry Jones the other day at the coffee shop, and he was I think it was that week they were starting to close the store down, and he was a very nice man, and he was a bit downtrodden that it came to that.
Yeah, it was just really tough, for everyone. We lost a friend, and it was an amazing experience. So to be part of this family. Of downtown merchants and people with a passion for downtown and for Elgin. And I think it reminds me one more time why I'm so passionate about this community, because, it's a hidden jewel. I don't think people recognize, people who live in Elgin recognize that this doesn't happen just anywhere, but it happens here. It's a pretty remarkable place.
Yeah, it seems like a big community. I'm not a member here, but it seems like there is a real tight community, and they do take care of. Elgin's one of the oldest cities, isn't it, in Illinois? Is it?
It's an older city and has a long history, and it's a real city. You know, we're an urban area, but we really do act like a small town here, and you know, it's fascinating to watch the people in this community just take care of each other, whether it's, the Community Crisis Center and coming to their rescue, or all of the agencies that work together to help people who are in need. And that doesn't happen in every community. There's a lot of people, a lot of communities where their, social service agencies war with each other over territory and funds, and that doesn't, happen here. It's a beautiful place to be.
That is a very, very nice sentiment. What else is going on? I guess is there anything else going on here in the community that you're part of, or that's coming up that you'd like to share with our listeners to be aware of?
A new year, and we start again. I think the Frock Swap, which is something that was started 2 years ago in an effort to bring some, new faces to the cause for domestic violence prevention, and we're doing that again.
I'm sorry, what was that called again, Ruth? I'm sorry.
It's a Frock Swap.
A Frock Swap, okay.
Essentially, we're asking young women to participate in a fundraiser for the Community Crisis Center by actually swapping their gently used, no longer wanted stashes for somebody else's gently used, no longer wanted fashions.
Okay.
But it raises several $1,000s for the crisis center, but it brings awareness about domestic violence. And one of the things we had learned a couple of years ago of young people who experience sexual abuse or domestic violence of some sort are more likely to tell their friends than their parents or an adult. And so we wanted to educate young women about, what's available through the Community Crisis Center and how to prevent further abuse if you're in that situation. So,
and is there a phone number or a website or something where they could get some more information about that?
Right now, you can. The date has not been finalized. Janelle Walker is leading the effort again this year, and there's the website will be Frock Swap CCC, which is a community crisis center, frockswapccc.com, and on Facebook as well. So more information will be coming. But any young women who are interested in helping this year, you can email me at ruthmunson.com, and we'll get on board.
Beautiful. Tim, you have anything else for Ruth today?
No,
just kind enough to give us a few minutes.
How's Trish? She's still with you? Trish?
Tish Powell?
Yeah. Yes.
No, Tish worked on my campaign when I had run for political office.
Like her. Nice city.
Well, she's actually running for city council.
She is?
So, yeah.
You're kidding me. Oh, no. I didn't know that. Oh, we got to get her on the show.
Well, any friend of yours is a friend of ours. Set her up to come in and spend some time with us.
Yeah. Oh no, let's get her on here. Are you supporting her?
Of course. There's some great candidates who are running. No.
She's a great lady. I really enjoyed her. And I was going to ask I was going to ask you about Springfield, but I don't know if you want to talk about that at all this week. No, not really.
Well, are
you watching it?
A little bit, yeah. Because we're going to be talking about redistricting, and there's some bills on there that, about government spending. We'll see where it goes. Some twists, that are twists and turns happening with all of that.
Do you mind me asking you about that, or is it okay?
To the extent that, really what I've been seeing is, what I've been watching really has been on the internet.
How does this work now with the redistricting? What happens? They get together, they start putting the census together, and putting it. When is it final, or when it's supposed to be final? Is there a deadline?
Typically what happens is the final counts are, I think, completed. If I'm not mistaken, and they will start to put a process together in Springfield. in, how they're going to, redistrict the state.
Were you involved in it when you were down there a couple of years ago? Were you part of it? Were you part of the process?
Well,
were you in office then?
We did try to change the law that would allow for a nonpartisan committee to draw the lines using. Iowa has a system, and in other communities, the League of Women Voters had put together a process that would allow non-incumbent legislators and non-partisan entities to draw fair boundaries so that everybody's vote would count. Currently, the way the districts will be drawn is seated legislators are going to have the final say on, their own districts.
Ruth, it sounds like you were trying to pass legislation that wouldn't let the fox watch the hen house.
That was indeed sort of the direction we were hoping it would go.
Thank you, Paul. You put it in the context for us, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
For us silly people, we have to have visuals.
Well, here's my question. I understand it. Is this like how most states are, or is Illinois? And again, are we the exception to what the rest of the 49 states or 48 states are doing?
Well, they all do it a little differently, but of course, sure, we're we're one of those states that, allow incumbent legislators and, of course, then the seated leaders to decide, who's going to control the legislature for, the next 10 years.
But you know what? Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but it doesn't surprise me that we're going to have this redistricting done, because I think we were the only state in the union who didn't get the memo about balance in government in the recent elections.
Well,
so it doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, but you guess what my question is, and I'm thinking back, I am this old, when Harold Washington was mayor of Chicago, and they districted it to where basically there was 26 or 29 against Harold Washington, and they took it to federal court and they sued, and I guess where I'm going with it is, does the federal government have anything to say about how the state does it, or is it all based on what the state says it's going to happen?
Well, and it's, states' rights, of course, are still pretty strong, but essentially it's been this way for I don't know how long, and it's never, been contested.
I was just curious,
I don't know the answer to that.
No, I was just wondering. I'm hoping
congressionally we're going to lose a seat.
Right.
I saw that. Yeah.
Population, and so that'll be interesting to watch. How that occurs, and which. Could
I suggest we lose Bobby Rush's seat?
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out there.
Well, I'm interested about the 22nd district, the Senate district. Yeah, I would like to see that be redistricted. Actually, I want to start a campaign that the 22nd district deserves better. I was shocked by your race, but I was more shocked by that race with Nolan and Rauschenberger. I was just absolutely blown away. I was numb after that. I just couldn't believe. I went to your party and then I went to Steve's party. I was just blown away by that. I'm hoping that they redistrict that.
Yeah,
he's got enough enemies down there that they probably will.
Yeah, I felt so bad. After the election, I was sitting here with such a glass half full, glass half empty feel, because it felt like on the national level, people got the message, and somehow in Illinois, when people like you and Steve and Cedric Crenshaw, when people don't get that memo, it just blows me away. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well.
Were you going to say something? I'm sorry, Ruth. I thought we interrupted.
I'm sorry. We're just crying here. I'm crying at least.
Well,
I just.
Go ahead. There's a lot to be done in this state, and it doesn't have to be done, as a legislator. So, I'm looking at opportunities that, will allow me to continue my active participation in, my community and in my government. And so,
well, if there's anything we can do to support you, we're always with you. So please don't ever hesitate to call.
Yeah, Ruth, any of these things that you're involved in, like the frock swap or anything that comes up, please, as long as you throw it up on Facebook, I'll make sure that I remember to bring it up on the radio show and help support you in any way we can.
Well, terrific. I really appreciate that.
Can we start for the good of the 22nd District? Have a website for that? Start collecting money.
And it will, all of the districts will change somewhat. So it's, with the growth in population and, we'll see some changes in how each district is drawn. But the fact of the matter is they'll be drawn to, to support the current leadership.
When is it supposed to be done? Is there a date? Like this year? Is it supposed to be in 2010?
Yeah, I think it'll be done this year.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly.
It'll be effective. Now, this guy that ran for Senate, I even hate to say his name, but the 22nd District, is he in for 4 years now, or is it 2 years?
No, all legislators, including the senators, only have a 2-year term. And so they will run for the new district next time around 2 years. So it'll file their petitions in August of this year, I think August or September.
For next year?
Yeah.
Oh, so we could put a candidate? No kidding. Okay.
I was thinking about running.
I was going to run against him.
I was thinking about running too, but Ruth, this is in all sincerity. I thought to myself, maybe I should run for an office, except I'm an idiot. And I thought to myself, I would have to have someone like Ruth or Steve Rauschenberg actually like with their hand in my back with the intelligence of what to do, because I'm an idiot. So, but I sit there and I look at Mike Nolan and people, and Mike's a nice enough guy. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know that he really has the best interest of his constituents in his heart.
He has the best interest of his own.
Yeah. Of Mike Nolan. And anyway,
sorry,
I don't expect you to comment on my bad feelings.
No, you don't have to.
We got anything else for Ruth?
No, Ruth is fabulous. Thank you for being involved, and
yes,
thanks for calling in today. We really appreciate it. We always like to hear what you're doing. I think you're wonderful.
Your show. Thank you.
All right, take care, Ruth.
Great day. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
She's a nice lady.
She is.
She was one of the most impressive people we had on.
And you know what? She's not a self-promoter. She really is a selfless person who, like
That's
I said.
the impression I had.
If you go and you become Ruth Munson's Facebook friend, you will actually see someone who's out there involved in her community doing things that are just good for people. I mean, it's not a self promotion or a self reward in any way, shape, or form, and that's really, when we talk about it, Tim, I think we say government's gotten away from the people, and when you get someone like Ruth who's attached to the people and attached to her community, that's someone who's really responsive, and that's a good person to have in that spot.
So we'll have to see how the 22nd District shapes up. You have to raise $1 million to run against him, I think.
Well, I think they need better. Better representation than they got.
Okay, well, it's good. You know what? Anytime I have a question about Springfield, we can always call her, because
yes,
she is very, very, very astute. How we do with time, Dave? 2 minutes? Can we go a break early? Can we do that? Okay. Dave's letting us go to break.
All right, and then when we come back, we'll be getting U.S. Congressman Randy Hultgren will be joining us.
Okay.